Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine getting a call. It sounds official, really official. But then it drops an accusation so heavy it turns your world upside down. You're suddenly told your identity, your name, is tied to a massive crime, and unless you act right now, you're going to jail. It's a terrifying scenario, right? And today we're taking a deep dive into a really sophisticated cybercrime.
Yeah.
One that cost an individual right here in Chandigarh over 77 lakh rupees. That's a staggering sum. All to this chilling tactic they call digital arrest. We are going to explore what this case reveals about, the evolving landscape of cyber fraud. And more importantly, what it teaches you about safeguarding your own digital life.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these fraudsters don't just manipulate technology. That's part of it, sure. But they brilliantly exploit human psychology. They leverage fear, perceived authority. They create this inescapable digital trap. It's quite sophisticated. So our mission today is really to pull back the curtain on the mechanics of this digital arrest scam. We'll examine what made it so incredibly effective, the specific tactics used, and crucially, how you can spot these deceptions, these sophisticated attacks, and protect yourself from becoming the next target. We're drawing our insights directly from the Chandigarh Police's recent investigation and, importantly, their advisories on this.
Right, and it's those police reports that are, the bedrock of our deep dive today. This isn't just theory, it's a real high-profile case. Happened right in Chandigarh, a city known for being quite planned, relatively safe, and now it's grappling with these advanced digital threats. It's a stark reminder, really. Nobody's immune. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting and, frankly, quite alarming. The Chandigarh Cybercrime Cell, they recently made some real headway against one of these digital arrest operations. We're talking about a local resident right here. Defrauded of, yeah, get this, R77,042,420. That's over 77 lakh rupees. Just gone. Lost not to some, physical heist, but pure, insidious digital deception. And the police, they've actually apprehended two individuals connected to this. Sajid Ahmed Patel, who's 30, from Maharashtra, and Shayeed Rafiq Mullah, 37. But these probably aren't just like isolated actors, right? They seem part of something bigger.
Exactly. If you connect this to the bigger picture, you see it straight away. These aren't your simple, low-effort phishing attempts. The kind most of us, hopefully, have learned to spot by now. No, this is highly organized. It's a professional criminal operation we're looking at. And that term, digital arrest, it isn't just a catchy phrase the media picked up. It's a chilling, precisely engineered tactic. It's designed to make you believe, utterly believe, you are already in grave legal jeopardy. The goal, it's to strip away your ability to think clearly, to stop you calling anyone, to consult others, seek help. They create this overwhelming sense of immediate personal crisis. They want you isolated, panicked.
Isolation and panic, that seems key, doesn't it, to making the whole scam work. So how did this actually play out? For the victim in this case, the sources are quite detailed. So the victim gets a call, the person on the other end, they're impersonating an officer from a crime branch. Now, for listeners maybe not familiar with the system in India, a crime branch officer, that's basically a detective, right?
Specialized investigative unit. Serious stuff.
Exactly. So immediately that carries a huge weight of authority. And this impersonator, they tell the victim their Aadhaar card, which for our international audience, that's India's unique ID number. Absolutely essential for, well, almost everything official.
Banking, phone connections,
Yeah.
government services.
Right. And they say this Aadhaar card is linked to a serious money laundering case in Mumbai. Now, just imagine that for a second. An accusation completely out of the blue, using official-sounding names, a serious crime, and threatening your core identity document. It's designed to generate instant, profound panic.
It really is. It's a classic setup for psychological manipulation, you see. They immediately introduce this high-stakes problem, something that needs an immediate, non-negotiable solution. Right now. And the target isn't just being accused. No, they're made to feel like they're already guilty until proven innocent. And that the only way out, the only way, is through the scammer's so-called help. This taps into some really deep-seated cognitive biases we all have. There's the authority bias. We're just wired to obey figures of authority or people we think are figures of authority. And then the urgency bias. They demand immediate action, and that overrides rational thought.
And it didn't just stop with the phone call, did it? That's what's really scary here. They used technology to ramp up that intimidation to an almost unbearable level. They insisted, apparently, on using WhatsApp calls.
Which can feel more personal, more direct, and sometimes harder to trace or record officially.
Right. And during these calls, they didn't just talk. They showed the victim stuff, counterfeit arrest warrants, even fake Supreme Court orders. Just think about the impact of seeing that visual proof. You're looking at what appears to be a totally official document, seals, signatures, legal language, all telling you explicitly you are about to be arrested or your money's about to be frozen. That visual element, it adds this incredible, almost undeniable layer of legitimacy, perceived legitimacy anyway. Makes it incredibly difficult for the victim to doubt what they're seeing and hearing in that moment.
hmm And this raises that crucial question, why? Why were these tactics so incredibly effective? Why did they lead to such a massive financial loss? Over 77 lakh. Well, as you pointed out, is that perfect storm. Multiple, highly manipulative elements working together. You've got the impersonation of top-tier authority, crime branch, Supreme Court that instantly commands respect and deep fear. Then there's that natural human instinct. We all want to avoid legal trouble, avoid jail, courts, especially for a crime you know you didn't commit, but they're convincing you you're somehow tangled up in it. And finally, that immediate convincing visual proof, those fake documents. So the scammer strategy is multi-pronged. Isolate the victim. Don't talk to anyone about this. It'll make it worse. Create immense fear. Present seemingly legitimate evidence. And that coercion, that pressure cooker environment, it ultimately led the victim to transfer that exact sum, all 77 lakh, 42,420 rupees, into 4 different bank accounts, just as they were told.
Wow, and that precision. Demanding the exact sum and directing it into multiple specific accounts, that's chilling too, isn't it? It's not just send us money, it's meticulously managed. What does that level of precision, that coordination, tell us about the nature of these criminal operations? Are we definitely talking about a sophisticated network here, not just these two guys?
Oh, absolutely. That precision speaks volumes. It screams organization. It indicates a highly structured syndicate, a well-oiled infrastructure behind the scenes. We're almost certainly looking at a hierarchical structure, not just a couple of opportunists working together. Think about the different roles needed. You probably have. 1, the callers or impersonators, the actors who make initial contact. 2, the document creators, people skilled enough to make those fake warrants and orders look convincing. 3, you need money mules, people who open and manage the bank accounts. Often they're unwitting victims themselves, or maybe just desperate individuals recruited somehow. And 4, the handlers, the ones who direct the funds, move them quickly through different layers to obscure the trail, often trying to get it overseas or convert it into crypto or other untraceable assets fast. The fact that the money was split into 4 accounts, that strongly suggests an immediate effort to disperse it, to launder it, makes recovery significantly harder.
Okay, so a whole ecosystem of crime. But thankfully, this isn't just a story of deception. It's also, a testament to effective police work here. Once the complaint was filed, the Chandigarh Cybercrime Cell, they didn't hang about. They acted fast. And their swift action was absolutely crucial, wasn't it? They launched an investigation, and it quickly pointed towards Sajid Ahmed Patel and Shayeed Rafiq Mullah. Then came the raids, the arrests of both men, which at least put a stop to this particular chapter of their activities. And they recovered some telling tools of the trade from them, didn't they? Multiple mobile phones, various bank cards, also Aadhaar and PAN cards.
PAN card, that's the covenant account number
Vital.
for financial transactions in India.
All critical tools for identity theft, financial fraud, the whole setup.
Yeah, and what's truly critical here, beyond the arrests, is the police's ability to act swiftly on the financial side, too, securing assets. They managed to place a lien on Arda's $20,016,300, found in bank accounts connected to this case. Now, a lien, basically it means they've legally frozen those funds, put them on hold, stopped them from being moved or withdrawn while the investigation proceeds, potentially for recovery later. This specific detail, recovery over 20 lakh, it really underscores how vital immediate reporting by victims is, critically important. The quicker you report a scam like this, the higher the chances that law enforcement can actually freeze some funds, recover some of the stolen money before it gets completely laundered or moved somewhere beyond reach. It truly highlights that time is absolutely of the essence in cybercrime.
Yeah.
But it also, let's be honest, highlights the challenge. Over 50 lakh rupees from that initial 77 lakh still unaccounted for. Likely already moved through channels that are much harder, maybe impossible to trace now.
That's a really powerful point about the urgency of reporting. Makes you wonder, if the report came in just an hour faster. But okay, this story, as alarming as it is, it does come with vital lessons for all of us listening. The authorities, the Chandigarh police in this case, recognizing how sophisticated these scams are getting, they've issued a clear advisory. And these aren't just, vague suggestions. They are crucial lines of defense. We need to pay attention.
Exactly. These protective measures, they're pretty much non-negotiable in our digital age. They need to become second nature, almost reflexes. First, and this is paramount, always independently verify calls claiming to be from police or any government agency. Don't rely on caller ID. That can be easily spoofed, faked to show an official number. So if someone calls claiming to be from, say, the tax department or the police, hang up, Politely, maybe, but hang up. Do not call back the number they called from. Don't use a number they give you. Instead, you need to independently look up the official contact information for that agency yourself. Go to their official website, type the address in directly. Don't just click a search link. A legitimate agency will never object to you taking steps to verify who they are. In fact, they should encourage it.
Right. So it's about breaking that immediate cycle of reaction, isn't it? That pressure they put on you. Don't trust the information they provide. Seek out the truth independently. Take a breath.
Precisely. Take that breath. Second, and this is critical, never share personal details. Bank account numbers, OTPs, those one-time passwords, credit card details. Never send money, not over the phone, not over WhatsApp, not based on some urgent demand, no matter how official or scary it sounds. Government bodies, legitimate law enforcement, banks. They will never ask you for money transfers like this. They won't ask for your OTP or sensitive personal info over a call or message to sort out an investigation. Their processes involve formal written communication, established legal procedures, not this kind of high-pressure tactic.
Right.
If they threaten immediate arrest or say your accounts will be frozen unless you transfer money right now, that is a massive, giant red flag. Huge.
That's a key distinction. Legitimate processes are formal. They take time. They don't involve panic-driven phone calls demanding instant transfers.
Indeed. Third point from the advisory. If you get any suspicious calls, especially ones demanding money, personal details, or threatening legal action, the best course is simple. Hang up immediately. Don't engage further. Don't argue. Just disconnect. Then report it. Report it to your local police, or specifically to the Cybercrime Cell. Even if you weren't scammed, your report helps them track these operations, build cases, warn others. And finally, if the worst happens, if you do get scammed, or even just suspect you might have been, immediately call the National Cybercrime Helpline. In India, that's 1930. Or sometimes 1903 is mentioned too. Use 1930. The sooner you report, as we saw with Chandigarh case recovery, the better the chances of maybe freezing some funds, starting the investigation. Every minute counts.
It sounds so clear, so simple when you lay it out like that: verify, hang up, report. But, in the heat of the moment, with that kind of intense psychological pressure we talked about, the fear, the legal threats, that immediate visual proof they showed, it's incredibly easy to just freeze up, to forget these basic rules, to just react to the pressure and comply. It really takes a conscious effort, doesn't it, to build these defenses into your responses. And while this digital arrest case was the main focus of the police reports we looked at, there was actually another incident mentioned, completely unrelated, but it gives us a slightly broader picture of law enforcement's daily work.
Right. Sometimes these reports cover multiple things happening around the same time.
Exactly. So the same sources also briefly mentioned a drug-related arrest. Apparently, a 30-year-old woman named Kajal was apprehended. This was in Sector 56, Maloya area of Chandigarh. She was found in possession of 11.10 grams of heroin, and she had no license or permit for it, obviously.
Okay, so a different kind of crime entirely. But still part of the daily grind for the police.
Yeah. And the outcome noted was that a case was registered under Section 21 of the NDPS Act, that's the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, and Kajal was remanded to police custody for 2 days for further investigation.
It just highlights, I suppose, the diverse range of issues the police are dealing with constantly. Beyond just cybercrime, it underscores their vigilance across different aspects of public safety.
Okay, so let's bring it back to our main focus. What does this all mean for you, our listener? The story of the Chandigarh digital arrest scam, with Sajid Ahmed Patel and Shayeed Rafiq Mullah accused of preying on a local resident for over 77 lakh rupees. It's a stark, almost unbelievable reminder of the sophisticated, ruthless threats lurking out there in our digital world. But importantly, it also illuminates the power of swift police action when things go wrong. And maybe more importantly for us day to day, the absolute necessity of being informed, being prepared, and maintaining always a healthy dose of skepticism in our increasingly interconnected lives.
Mm-hmm. In this whole situation, it really raises an important, maybe even a slightly philosophical question for all of us, doesn't it? In an age where our digital identity, our digital communication, our digital transactions, they're so central to everything we do. How do we strike that balance? How do we effectively balance the convenience, the necessity of being online and engaged with a crucial ingrained skepticism, a necessary suspicion almost? It's not just about remembering tips like hang up or verify, though that's vital. It's about cultivating a mindset, a way of thinking that consistently questions perceived authority, especially when it arrives unexpectedly online or over the phone. It's about building like a mental firewall against manipulation. So the question for you really is, how do you plan to train yourself, or maybe talk to people you care about, to pause, to verify, especially when the pressure's on, when that fear kicks in. What's your personal strategy going to be for resisting that intense, fear-driven urge to just comply immediately? Something to think about.
A powerful thought to consider, and definitely a personal challenge for all of us navigating this world. Stay alert, stay safe, and keep questioning. And as always, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.